The world's best applications use React Native, and you might actually not even be aware of that. But the good thing is we have proof for that. Evan Bacon, in Evan We Trust, created a little, let's call it study. He collected a list of over 1,500 top iOS apps using Expo. So let me get this clear. These are not only React Native apps, they actually use Expo, the apps compiled in his list. That means the total sum of React Native applications is even a lot bigger. Nonetheless, there are some outstanding applications, and I really wanted to take a look with you at this list and show you, just like we do in our app review, a few of these applications here on my device to give you an impression of how powerful React Native is. Just to give some credit to Evan and what he's been doing. After months of extensive research, I've collected a list of 1,599 apps that are using Expo in 2024. Specifically, apps using libraries from the Expo SDK, including Expo's navigation suite, React Navigation. So this is important. As I said, these are not only React Native apps, they are like further down the funnel, they are using Expo. And there's a long list. We're going to get into that list in a second and check out a few of these apps. It's really impressive. And at the bottom, there is his description of how he went through it. He created a little measurement, which is really interesting, and how he detected these. You can look it up. It took really some time and a lot of effort. So thank you, Evan, for your work, not only on Expo Router, but also on combining this list, which will help us to see some of the epic things. So let's just check out the shop application here, for example. And you're going to notice these applications, they're just native applications. I can't really say anything bad about these applications. They just look and feel exactly as I want them. I don't know why ESN, this is like the main protein source I always is showing up in here, but like these applications, they're snappy. Everything works in them just as expected. They're fast. There's really nothing about these applications that looks or feels wrong. Of course, I probably can't use Coinbase because I don't have an account right now, but most of you might be aware of Coinbase and how it works. Everything in here is just snappy, but also there are word games like this evil apples. So you can't just have like utility games built with React Native, and I sometimes get the comment that, oh, yeah, you can use this for like small projects and small sites. No. Look at this list. Like the NFL is using React Native under the hood. Walgreens, Amazon is using it. We've seen Shopify use it. Discord was in here. Xbox. There was actually a talk on the App.js about PlayStation and Sony using this. CNN. These are like the major brands in the world, and they use React Native. And they don't use it because they're going to save a few $1,000s because they can now have a cross-platform team. They use it because it's great. They use it because they can create app experiences that totally match a native experience. But they have a huge benefit. And this is something that I talked with Theo about recently as well. And Theo had a great video about this, about the React Native superpower. And that is over-the-air updates. So all of these apps can benefit from over-the-air updates. What does it mean? Well, if you develop an iOS or an Android app and there's a bug in your application, you usually have to create a new native build. You have to submit it to iOS and to Google, and then they will review it. And maybe in like 1 or 2 weeks, your critical bug is fixed. But not with over-the-air updates. You can just immediately exchange the JavaScript bundle of your React Native application because the abstraction layer here is at the right point, which means you can pretty much instantly fix bugs, but you can also instantly introduce like a special Halloween theme to your application or anything like that. And the funny thing here is that these kind of over-the-air updates, it's actually something the native developers, native iOS and Swift developers couldn't get. They also can't really have live reload. So the companies here that I just mentioned going for cross-platform, they're definitely not doing it only for the cross-platform myth of 50% development time. No, they're doing it for the benefits of over-the-air updates. They're doing it for easier maintenance of their applications. It's easier to add features to their application, and you can just iterate a lot faster with React Native. So I really wanted to make this video to showcase these apps. I really want to give credit to Evan, who also has created actually a game. You can check it out. You can even play it in the browser. It's impressive what he has done on his blog. By the way, the whole block here, as far as I know, is also built with Expo and Expo Web. So there should be the source code, I think, Evan. I don't know if the source code, maybe some people will ping you. I'm sorry about that. But this list is really impressive. That list is, by the way, also done with Expo and Expo Web. What can we learn? Even the biggest companies in the app in the world use React Native, and they don't use it for fun or to save cost, although that might be a reason, but they do it to develop better applications, because in the end you're actually in many cases better off with a React Native application than with a traditional native application. And I already hear the people saying, but Flutter is better. Yeah, can you show me really a good application with Flutter here? Okay, this list is for React, so probably there won't be a Flutter, but in the store, there are just a handful of really good Flutter applications, and it's hard to create one. The numbers are interesting for Flutter, but I think a lot of the beginners are jumping into Flutter because, oh, it looks so cool, I get all the components out of the box, but then in the end, they will encounter many more problems than React Native developers will face. If you still think React Native isn't for serious applications, and if you still think Flutter is better, then check out this list. Link to Evan's article below this video. Go check it out. Check out galaxies.dev if you also want to build great apps, and I'll catch you in the next one.